Hi, it's Kat Patrick again from Dreaming Spires Home Learning. This is our day 2 of having a look at all the courses that we're doing next year. If you haven't watched the introductory video or our day 1 video on YouTube, then please go and have a look, because I explain how all of our courses are very similar and work in the same kind of format. Today I want to focus on the very first course that we ever taught at Dreaming Spires, which is our Middle Ages Literature class. So we do read books that are translated from Old English, Beowulf, and we read some Middle English texts. Some are poems and some are plays. But they're also translated, so it's not that hard. And then we also read some books that are about the Middle Ages, like Ivanhoe and Once and Future King. And the idea is that students not only understand that, there's Old English and Middle English and Modern English, but they learn to see the layers of text, because Beowulf is written about someone who probably did live, or some of the people in the book did live in the 500 ADs, but it was told orally for over about 500 years before it was written down. And even once it was written down, it went through a whole series of very interesting mishaps and adventures, to the fact that today we only have one copy in the whole entire world of this poem. And so we talk a lot about, where a text comes from and how it's been created. All the while, the students are learning to read books that are maybe a bit harder than they've been reading up till now. And so I teach them how to decode these harder books. And so by the end of the year, they find these harder books of different subject matter related to knights and dragons and such like that. They just find it really easy to read. This course also has an extension for writing that is an extra half-hour webinar after the main 1-hour webinar. And that focuses on what we call expository writing. So that's your letters, your story writing, speeches, newspaper articles, and so all the different kinds of sort of functional sort of writing, so that students learn that there's a difference between writing a letter to a granny than to, say, a king. Getting that idea about audience and purpose and genre down. And meanwhile, although we don't really focus on grammar per se, we focus on it in context, so that if someone is having issues with run-on sentences, that person would get some additional help with the run-on sentences. If there's an issue with changing verb tenses, we talk about that, spelling and sentence structures. Then we start kind of pulling up on the grammar side of things. But mostly it's done in context and a bit of fun. The letter writing might be 4 weeks or so before we actually turn in our final drafts. A essay about poetry, we might take even longer on that than the initial letters, because most people know how to write letters a bit better. So I'll talk about Renaissance Lit tomorrow in my next installment. Don't forget to come to our website, www.dreamingspiresHomeLearning.com, or if you're in the UK, Europe, and places that take the English system exams, the GCSEs, the A-levels, you might like to go to .co.uk. We're also on Facebook, Dreaming Spires Home Learning. We're on Instagram under my name, Kat Patrick Online Tutor. And we have also got a Facebook group called Inspired Home Learning that's just for moms of teens and tweens all over the world to share sort of best practice with how their homeschooling's going. So I hope to see you in some of those places. And what do I want to say about Middle Ages? Well, if you have any questions about Middle Ages, just drop me a line. Just send me a private message or email me off the contact form on the website. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.